Our 2023 Model Y just hit 30,000 miles, and in this video, I'm going to share all my costs down to every penny, including charging, maintenance, insurance, purchase price, registration, and more. So if you're curious what it really costs to own this car, let's get into it. Let's start with the easiest number to calculate, charging. And I say easiest because, well, it's right here in the Tesla app. And it's pretty accurate. I actually input my energy company's rates right into the Tesla app, and it uses that to give me these numbers. In 2025, I spent $442 charging, mostly at home, superchargers only on road trips. In 2024, I spent $695, mostly at superchargers. We actually got 6 months of free supercharging with this car. Can you tell? And then later in the year, we took a really big road trip for Christmas. And in 2023, we spent $1. We got this car right at the end of the year. And again, we had free supercharging. So our total spent on charging is $1,138. I should also note at this point that we're a little over 30,000 miles. We are at 32,094 to be exact. And one thing to note here, besides the 6 months of free supercharging, is that this is our road trip vehicle. Outside of free supercharging and our road trips, we charge at home 100% of the time. Here's my Model 3 I got just a few months ago for reference. It's literally never been to a supercharger because we've never taken it on a road trip. So if you don't road trip a lot like we do and you can charge your Tesla at home, you can save some real money, even more than what we have. And speaking of saving, another cool thing about the Tesla app is that it shows you exactly how much money you saved and would have spent if you were to have to buy gas. And again, it's pretty accurate. It uses the average gas prices by month in your state. So for our Model Y, here's how much money we saved by charging. In 2025, we saved $756 so far. In 2024, we saved $4,008. Crazy, but we did take 2 cross-country road trips, one of which while we had free supercharging. And in 2023, we saved $37, just a few days of free supercharging. So our total amount saved is $4,801. And if you're curious how much we would have spent if we had to buy gas, by Tesla's calculations, we would have spent $5,939. So just on charging, I have 2 big takeaways from this. The first is that home charging is very cheap, unless you live in California. But if you don't live in California, charging at home costs like a fraction of the price of gas. And secondly, Tesla often has some sort of incentive going on, and sometimes they offer free supercharging. The price of superchargers have gotten a little more expensive over the last few years. They're still cheaper than paying for gas, but the margin is shrinking. But if you got a big road trip planned or even just drive a lot, as you can see with our numbers, this can save you a few $1,000s if you get free supercharging. All right, let's talk about maintenance next, and just a heads up, this is gonna be a very short section. We've rotated our tires 3 times so far. It cost us $40 each time. And I know some places can do that for free. They balance our tires too, and they're like right down the block, so we just go there. On one of our road trips, we got caught in a winter storm. It was actually scary. There were points where I could hardly see like 10 feet in front of me. We used a lot of our windshield washer fluid, so we had to buy a gallon of that, which cost us $8. We live here in Vegas, so we don't usually have to buy that ever, but the Colorado mountains are something else in the winter. And also, this technically isn't maintenance, but we did get into an accident. Well, let me rephrase that. Somebody crossed a solid yellow line into our lane the second we were going to pass them, and they hit us. Our deductible was $1,000. We had to pay it only because this guy didn't have insurance. But we're supposed to get that back, but that was also over a year ago, and I don't know if we're getting that back. But anyways, if we're just talking about maintenance, that's it. A couple of tire rotations and a gallon of windshield washer fluid for a total maintenance cost of $128. We still have original tires. People say these Tesla tires tend to wear out really fast. Our tires are in great shape. Here they are. Of course, we'll eventually need new ones, but not yet. Still looking good after 32,000 miles. Time to talk about insurance, which is another one of those things that people say are more expensive with Teslas. We have full coverage with Tesla insurance, which is a bit of give and take. The good is the price and the transparency. Everything is done through the app, and if you want to see or change any part of your policy, you can do that very easily through your Tesla app. Now, the bad part is the customer service and their safety score system. It tracks all of your driving, and depending on how safe you drive, you can get a higher safety score, and the higher your safety score, the lower your insurance rate. Here is everything your safety score tracks, one of these being late night driving. We drove home from LA at midnight like the other weekend on our road trip, and that alone like completely screwed us over on our safety score for the month because we were driving overnight for like 4 hours. The other bad thing about this is that it tracks how much you drive very accurately, and of course, the more miles you put on your car, the higher your insurance premium will be. Anyways, with all of that, let me share our numbers here. We've had 20 monthly payments so far that totaled up to be $3,051.14, which is an average monthly insurance payment of $152.56 per month. And here are all my payments, so you know I'm not lying, although I know I'll still get some of those comments because I always do on these kinds of videos where I share my costs. But I know insurance rates depend on so many things, and like I said, for context, for us, we have full coverage and we've had one accident so far. Our safety score ranges between 96 and 99. It goes up to 100, so we're usually pretty good with this, which by the way, unless you drive a lot between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., it's not hard to get a high safety score. But it does fluctuate, and with that, so does our monthly payment. Our lowest premium was $118, and our highest was $190. So with all of this being said, my take, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. If you're worried about insurance being super high on Teslas, do some shopping around and look into Tesla insurance if your state offers it. They gave us the cheapest quote. So between charging, maintenance, and insurance, those are all the costs that we had after we bought the car. But how much did we actually buy the car for? Well, like I said, we bought it at the very end of 2023 because Tesla was running some good end-of-year incentives. Which, by the way, pro tip, if you want to buy a Tesla and you can wait towards the end of the year or the end of a quarter, Tesla often tries to squeeze in deliveries at these times to meet their quotas for the quarter or the year. So if you want the best deal or the best incentives, those are the best times to buy one if you can time it right. Anyways, here's our order agreement. Our purchase price was $48,990. We got the white interior for an extra $1,000, and we got $3,500 off due to an end-of-year inventory discount. And of course, not shown, we did also get 6 months of free supercharging. So our total after all the fees was $48,130. Also not shown, we did qualify for the tax credit, so when we filed our taxes in 2024 a few months later, we got a check for $7,500. Nowadays, they take it directly off the purchase price, but not in 2023. Also nowadays, the tax credit is ending on September 30th, so if you want to take advantage of the tax credit, make sure you buy like right now. But anyways, total price after fees and our tax credit was $40,630. We traded in my wife's Honda Civic. This is her Model Y. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I forgot exactly how much we got for it. It was around $15,000, I want to say. But whatever it was, that was our down payment towards this Model Y. So with that price, after all the taxes, we financed for 6 years at 4.49%. And we pay $567 per month. My takeaway here, interest rates kind of suck, but even that's not too bad. Tesla sometimes does 0% financing. I actually took advantage of that with my Model 3 Performance, and if you're going to finance a large amount, definitely look out for if they run something like that again in the future. Now lastly, registration. And disclaimer, Nevada is like one of the most expensive states to register your car in. We don't have state income tax, our property taxes are pretty low, so I guess this is where they get us. Anyways, to register our Model Y when we bought it, it cost us $951. We've had it for almost 2 years, so we did have to renew our registration earlier this year, and that cost us $878. My takeaway, Nevada just kind of sucks for car registration, but that's just not with Tesla. Any other EV, any other car, Nevada's just going to be pricey. It's just how it is. And before I summarize everything here, a lot of YouTubers don't really share their full cost, and I don't mind being fully transparent so you guys can see what owning this car is actually like when it comes to costs. So if you appreciate that or you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe. But let's recap here. So our total ownership cost of a 2023 Model Y in the great city of Las Vegas, Nevada after 32,000 miles. Charging was $1,138. Maintenance was $128. Insurance was $3,051. Registration and renewal was $1,829. So our grand total was $6,146, which is everything we spent after buying the car, not counting purchase price because that all depends on if you put cash down, how much you put down, if you buy it in cash or whatever. And overall, our experience with our Model Y, we love the car. It's our daily driver, it's our road tripper, and it's just fun to own. But are there cars that are cheaper out there for ownership costs? Of course there are. We can always buy some used Toyota Corolla and probably save more money with that. But for all you get with the Model Y, I think it's a really great deal, and that's a big part of the reason why it's been the best-selling vehicle in the entire world over the last 2 years. But anyways, that's all my costs with our Model Y, so far at least. Let me know what you guys think, but as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.